Hey, what's up guys, it's Fantastic here. Today I'll be making a tutorial on block building. I'm going to divide this into two sections. So one is basic block building and the other is advanced block building. So let's get straight into this. So first I'm going to explain what basic block building is. So first of all, I need to explain what a block is. So in Pyraminx, so normally in the beginner's method, how you're taught to solve it is to just randomly insert the centers like so, and then just solve the first layer, something like that, and then do a last layer algorithm. So when you're block building, instead of looking for the solution which takes the least number of moves to solve all the centers, what you're trying to do is solve a few edges as well while solving the centers. So what blocks basically are is, for example, okay, I'm just gonna try to set up something. Okay, so this looks fine. So a block would be something like this. So this edge is already in the correct position, so I would call this a block. And while solving the centers, rather than solving it something like this, which would actually move this block out of the way, I would move this down and then move this to the side. That way you're actually preserving one edge, so you don't have to insert another edge while solving your first layer. And this is essentially basic block building, which is actually more like block preserving, because you're taking pre-made blocks and you're preserving them. So I would call this more as block preserving, but it still comes under block building. So now I have this scramble. I could do yellow. So what I would do is actually move this down and then move that so that this block is found, and move it back. But that comes under advanced block building. So just for the sake of this section of the video, I'm gonna solve it like this. So let's say this was scramble. I wouldn't solve it like this because it would move this edge out then. So you would want to insert this first and then put this in, just to preserve this block. That way you don't have to insert another edge. And block building is required for solving under sub 3, sub 4. About any barrier after sub 6, block building is something which is very important. So now that I've covered basic block building, let's get into advanced block building. So in advanced block building, you actually make the blocks by doing one or two setup moves, or trying to cancel into something, or something like that, because you won't have a block on every scramble like this one. So this scramble has no blocks. So what I would try to do in a scramble like this is make some blocks. So in this particular scramble, I can only see one very efficient block. So I would solve it by doing something like this. So I notice if I move the center down, this edge gets solved. So rather than moving this first and then this, what I would do is move this so that this is matching, and then move this, and then move this up, which actually solves this. And then I actually happen to solve a V on blue, but that wasn't my intention. I was going for green. So then I would just insert this edge and then do this L4E case. So I'm gonna do another example. This is just a random scramble, no particular scramble, just gonna randomly scramble this up. Okay, okay, this seems a bit too easy. Let me scramble this up a bit more. Alright, so okay, I don't see any great block builds here. Yeah, to be honest, this just isn't a really good scramble. One thing you could do, which is probably pretty inefficient, honestly, I don't think I would use this in a solve, would be to move the U layer like this on the red side, and then do a sledge to insert this edge over here. Because what the sledgehammer base, I think this is a head slammer, I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, it's sledge. Okay, so what sledge basically does is moves this edge over here, and with the same color facing. So if I do something like that, this edge is going to move here, and then it's not going to disturb the top layer at all. So I can easily just look ahead into this, and then this L4E case. So I'm gonna do one last reconstruction. Again, a random hand scramble. I'm just gonna do the tips too this time, because why not? Okay. So this is actually a pretty nice scramble. Yeah, I've actually one looked this solve. So what I see is, I see this block, so this can easily be preserved. And what I notice is that if I move the right side up once, this is gonna form a block. So once I do this, my V is already gonna be formed. And I'm gonna talk about how I one look this. So I noticed where this edge would go. So I know it's not gonna form a block at the back like what you'd want for an L4E. And I noticed that this edge goes up here with red facing this side. So that's how I knew which case it was. It's gonna be like there's gonna be one edge piece over here, which I'm gonna have to insert with an RUR prime, and then I can just directly solve it with a sledgehammer, I think. So let's just execute that. Yeah, as you can see, just do a sledgehammer. So I hope this video was useful to all of you. I know I haven't shown really all my block building skills for the advanced block building, but most of them I learned just through watching walkthroughs. So DG Cubes has really good walkthroughs, and Livia also has really good walkthroughs for Pyraminx. So you guys should really check them out if you want to improve your block building skills, because they will definitely 100% help. You should try to implement them in your solves. At the start, it's gonna feel weird for sure, but then once you get used to it, it's gonna help you a lot, and you may even decrease your times by a second or two. So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.